Sir, PPT.
మీరు షేరింగ్ స్టాప్ చేయండి సార్.
ఒక్క నిమిషం.
షేరింగ్ స్టాప్ చేశారా? Good morning, children. Welcome back to the lecture series of zoology, first year intermediate. To recap, in the chapter Animal Diversity 1, we have discussed the phylums Porifera, Cnidaria, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, and Nematoda. Today, we will be learning another interesting phylum, the Annelida. Annelida is a group commonly referred to as segmented worms. These are found everywhere from the depths of the ocean to our own gardens. The commonly known farmer's friend, earthworm, as well as the blood-sucking leech come under this phylum. We might only be familiar with these land-dwelling annelids, but the marine annelids are much more colorful and greater in number, forming an important part of the coral reef ecosystem. Two special morphological characteristics found in these animals are segmented body and presence of setae. Did you know that leeches, though are ectoparasites, have been used to treat diseases? Uridotherapy is the use of leeches for medicinal purposes in order to suck the bad blood. For this session, we are privileged to have with us today Mr. S.SATHEESH, PGT Zoology, TSMS Asifabad, Komaram Bhim district. Satish sir is a highly qualified teacher with a master's degree in psychology, education, and zoology. He has a vast experience and accomplished background in the field of education with many years of experience as a principal and chairman for schools and colleges across the state, including 3 of our model schools as FSC principal. He has also contributed as a state and district resource person and worked as a counselor too. Satish sir will elaborately explain about the phylum Annelida, its significance in the diversity of life, and the special characteristics of the phylum. Now, I request sir to take the session. Satish sir, please go ahead.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, students. I welcome to you all for this inter first year zoology. Under animal diversity chapter, we have to discuss the general characters and outline classification of the phylum Annelida children. Before going to explain this, I would like to express my profuse thanks to Principal Madam Vishnu Priya Garu, our course coordinator, and Manjari ma'am, the webinar team head, and also all the supporters. I would like to explain the Annelida phylum today. After completing the chapter, you would able to know the general characters and outline classification of the phylum Annelida, and you may able to explain the type study of the. You can differentiate 3 classes of this phylum, and also you are capable to draw the diagrams of the digestive system, circulatory system, excretory system, and reproductive system of earthworm. These are the learning outcomes after completion of the lesson. You may learn all these. Next, introduction, how the phylum Annelida was coined. An evolutionary scientist, Lamarck, is there. He coined the name for the phylum Annelida. Lamarck is the great evolutionary scientist who coined the name for phylum Annelida. Like that, each and every phylum name was coined by separate scientists. Just like poriferans are coined by Robert E. Grant. Like that, the annelids are coined by Lamarck. Now phylum Annelida, the introduction, the Lamarck definition is nothing but how the Annelida word was been coined. Actually, the term annulus means little rings. Idios means forms. The body is specially consisting of little rings. Entire body is consisting of little rings. That's why the phylum Annelida has been coined. We have to go through the general characters first. Then we have to overview the phylum Annelida. First of all, we would like to know the habit and habitat of the phylum, body organization, symmetry, hydrostatic skeleton, coelom, metamerism, locomotion, cephalization, respiration, circulation, reproduction and development. Children, these are new terms. Actually, you are coming across here, but you have to know and concentrate on this one by one. I can explain in detail about these general characters. Habit and habitat. Some are purely marine, some are living in freshwater, some are in terrestrial. That means the three classes of the Annelida phylum. Some are living in marine water, means deep sea water. Some are in fresh water. Some are terrestrial. Earthworms, just like earthworm is terrestrial. The body organization, organ system grade, internal organs are well developed. Body organization is well developed here. The first time body organization with true segmentation and the organ grade system is developed. Then that of the tissue grade and cellular grade. Organ system grade, first time in annelids, it was developed. That's why the body organization is organ system grade. That means internal organs are well developed in this phylum. Next, these are having the bilateral symmetry they are possessing. If we cut in a longitudinal axis, the body is divisible into two equal halves. That is called bilateral symmetry. Bilateral means equilateral, equally divided into two parts. That means they are the earthworms or any annelid possessing the bilateral symmetry. It is the general character of this phylum. Then we go for hydrostatic skeleton. This hydrostatic skeleton, invertebrates does not having skeleton in it. Invertebrates does not having skeleton due to not having the notochord in it. The skeleton is absent in invertebrates, but the coelom itself is acting as the hydrostatic skeleton, though it is liquid consisting of some fluid provides the stiffness to the body parts and it is helpful for locomotion. With the fluid itself, it can locomote, it can move from one place to the other. Actually, here there are three diagrams are there here. You see, observe this: acoelomate, eucoelomate, and pseudocoelomate. Acoelomates are platyhelminthes having the not having the coelom. Flatworms are example for this. Pseudocoelomates, roundworms are there. Actually, the nematodes are very good example for this. Nematodes and platyhelminthes. Then in the middle, the annelid eucoelomate is the eucoelomate means U means true coelom. Coelom is nothing but it is a gap between the integument and the gut. The gut is there, here the gut is there and the integument. The integument of this and these annelids is divided into three parts: ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. Ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. In which the gut is there in the center of the body, from which there is a pink color gap there. This gap is called coelom. The coelom is fully filled with coelomic fluid, which provides stiffness to the body parts and the aiding in locomotion. Then we go for segmentation. Segmentation is nothing but it is a division of body parts into equal manner. That means if we observe the segments or the transverse septa present on the body, those are all equal. That's why the segmentation is seen. True segmentation and eusegmentation is seen first time in annelids. The body or coelom are divided by transverse septa into segments or metameres. The segments are otherwise called as metameres. The true segmentation, first time it is developed in Annelida phylum itself. That's why these are the first time developed true segmented body parts And metamerism is seen in this. The metamerism is nothing but to clearly explain about the metamerism here. Metamerism is very much helpful for walking and skipping, skimming. Metamerism is nothing but metamerism equally or metamerically segmented body. In metamerism, arrangement of organs in every segment. Each and every segment, those are the arrangement of nephridia, setae, and every organs that are present in the annelids are situated. That means every segment equally metamerically segmented body is there, in which the appearance of organ system is seen. This phenomena is said to be the metamerism. Metamerism is nothing but arrangement of organs in every segment, or equally or metamerically segmented body consisting animals possess the metamerism. And integument. Integument is nothing but the skin of our body. Integument is the skin of our body having 3 layers in it. It is triploblastic. Triploblastic means having 3 layers in it. In the ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. Ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm, these are the 3 layers that are present in that. And locomotion. Locomotion is nothing but it is the earthworms or the any moving from one place to other place by the locomotory organelles which are present in the segments. That's why the longitudinal muscles and circular muscles, parapodia, suckers, these are the special organs that are the annelids that are useful for locomotion. If we go through in detail about the locomotion, actually, setae are the special type of characters. Setae. Setae is otherwise called as ketae. There are rows of S-shaped setae are embedded in the epidermal pits in the middle of each segment. Each segment, the setae are present. These are protrude or retracted. That means these are looking outside. They play a vital role in locomotion. That means setae are the main important. They play a vital role. Actually, the first segment of the earthworm is called peristomium. The last segment is called pygidium. Segments also having names, children, in which the first segment is peristomium and last segment is pygidium. See, the structure of setae, if you want to know about the structure, this is looking S-shaped. This S-shaped structure is there here. The middle swallowing part is called nodulus, and this is the base, and this is the neck. That means having this type of structure is there. That setae, S-shaped setae are embedded in the epidermis. That means these are useful for locomotion, especially setae. Not only the setae, actually parapodia, suckers, and circular muscles also helps in locomotion. For example, these are the new terms peritima and niris, acanthoptella, hyoidinea. These are the 4 new examples for you. As you know that the peritima you are studied in your lower classes, peritima is nothing but this is the earthworm. Niris, acanthoptella, hyoidinea. We can discuss about these in our classification in detail. Okay, after locomotion is completed, we have to go for cephalization. Cephalization is the prominent character of the annelids. First time the true cephalization is seen in this. This is more pronounced with distinct head, and sense organs are well developed in polychaetes. That means polychaeta having the head is playing a very important role. The cephalization, first time it is observing, it is with sense organs like eyes, palps, and some photoreceptors. This will be seen in the next diagram, children. We have to go for the respiration. Respiration is a metabolic activity whereby it is by simple diffusion through body wall or vascularized parapodia. Some parapodia, vascularized parapodia may also help in respiration. Respiration is nothing but, as we know, we are inhaling and exhaling here. Like that, the simple diffusion means the transfer of the gases from inner side to outer side through body wall. In invertebrates it is seen. The vascularized parapodia helps in respiration. Respiration is a metabolic activity. Locomotion is a metabolic activity. Then after that, one more metabolic activity is circulation. Circulation is nothing but circulation in the sense circulation in peritima. Actually, circulation seen in peritima, the dorsal blood vessel and ventral blood vessel play a vital role here. Dorsal blood vessel is very thick, with which only we can identify the dorsal side of the dorsal side. Dorsal side is this one, this. The dorsal blood vessel play a vital role, and which the blood flow from posterior to anterior it is going on. The arrow marks are very much important. The blood is flowing like this. And whereas in ventral blood vessel, the blood is flowing anterior to posterior. Actually, the circulation is nothing but blood circulatory system of us. This is closed type of circulation. Particularly closed type of circulation first started with Annelida, in which blood circulates in blood vessels only, not in sinuses. Blood circulates in blood vessels only, not in sinuses. If it is circulating in sinuses, means that is open type of circulation. It will be seen in the mollusks and some arthropods. Actually, blood circulates in blood vessels only, not in sinuses, is characteristic of closed type of circulation, which is seen in the annelids. There are blood vessels, those are dorsal blood vessel, DBV, ventral blood vessel, VBV, lateral hearts, 4 pairs are present. The 4 pairs of lateral hearts, they connects the dorsal blood vessel and ventral blood vessel above the esophagus. The digestive system is located here. We can discuss about the digestive system in detail in the type study of earthworm, but these are the connecting hearts. The 4 pairs of connecting lateral hearts are present in it. In circulation in detail, we can discuss about circulation in detail in type study of the earthworm. Respiratory pigments, these are not the these are not the respiratory pigments. These are blood pigments actually. These are present in blood. Hemoglobin is a blood pigment, a respiratory pigment. Chlorocrein is also a respiratory pigment present in blood. They are found and dissolved in plasma. What is meant by blood, children? Blood is nothing but this is the liquefied connective tissue. As we were studied at lower classes, the blood is nothing but this is the liquefied connective tissue in which plasma and blood cells are present. 45% of blood cells, whereas 55% of plasma is there. The plasma consisting of 90% of water, whereas the blood cells are 45%. What are the blood cells? Okay, RBC, WBC, and thrombocytes. Very good, children. RBC, WBC, and thrombocytes are the blood cells, whereas the plasma is the matrix of the blood, in which the hemoglobin and chlorochlorine are dissolved. This is the main character you have to remember it. It is dissolved in plasma. In another, actually why the blood is looking reddish in color means we know that the blood is looking reddish in color is it is having hemoglobin pigment in human being, but blood is looking greenish also due to presence of this pigment. We can go through why blood is red in color and why blood is red in color due to presence of hemoglobin itself. Why is blood looks green? Yes, it is looking green due to presence of what? Chlorochlorine. Chlorochlorine is another respiratory pigment which is giving green color to the body. Next system after circulation, the metabolic activity, that is excretion and osmoregulation. The excretion is nothing but it is the balancing the body. Osmoregulation is also like that, the balancing the water level, balancing the equilibrium in hyper concentration to lower concentration to hyper concentration. It will balance. The excretion is nothing but it is also a metabolic activity with which the body can be balanced. For which nephridia are useful for excretion. Nephridia are the special type of structures, just like kidneys are useful in our body. The nephridia are also seen in this. These are ectodermal in origin. The nephridia having nephrostome. You see here nephrostome is there. Based on the nephrostome, these are divided into metanephric, mesonephric, and telonephric. Kidneys are nephridia are there. The body of the nephridium is looking like that. This is the coiled part like this. We can discuss about the nephridia in detail in type study also. the excretion. Next, in platyhelminthes, flame cells are very much useful for flame cells. They are looking like the flame and useful for excretion. In nematodes, some rennet cells are useful. As far as annelids are concerned, the nephridia are useful. This is the structure, enlarged structure of a nephridium, in which the excretion and osmoregulation takes place. After the metanephric means nephridia with nephrostomes are there. That is type of metanephric. It is present in tail end of the kidney nephridia. That's why it is metanephric. It is not in the middle. It is in the tail end. When nephrostome is present. Nephridia with nephrostomes. The face is towards the tail end. That's why this is metanephric type of nephridia. Metanephric type of nephridia is present in annelids. Nervous system. After that, we have to go for nervous system. As the excretion is completed, we have to go for the another metabolic system, nervous system. It plays a vital role in earthworm, all the annelids. We are taking earthworm as an example here, and we have type study of earthworm. Earthworm scientific name is Ferretima faustuma. Ferretima faustuma. And one more example is there, Megascolex mariae. Megascolex mariae and Ferretima faustuma, in which the paired ganglia are present. Paired ganglia. Ganglia means ganglia are nothing but these are the main cerebral ganglia. Ganglia are nothing but the of the nerve cells. Actually, cerebral ganglia are brain is present, subphalangeal area, and nerve ring, ganglionated double ventral nerve cord. Here we see the double ventral nerve cord here. The nerve cord is there. It is double ventral nerve cord. It's in position, not in dorsal. Actually, each and every segment consisting ganglia in it. You see here on the nerve cord, for each and every segment, it is there. In previous days, we were used to do practicals by taking this nervous system as a dissection, but nowadays it has banned by the government children to protect the biodiversity. Actually, most of the earthworms consisting the ring-like structure is the nerve ring consisting of the brain. The brain is nothing but the cerebral ganglia. Cerebral ganglia acts as the brain for it, and the nerve ring consisting supraesophageal commissures are there. Infraesophageal, supraesophageal commissures, they connect here there, and they forms a ring-like structure. This is known as nerve ring. The nerve ring is extending its own part to the posterior part. It is present in the anterior region, just like it is especially located in the head region or prostomian region, and the ventral nerve cord extends along up to the last segment is called pygium. That means each and every segment consisting the ganglia are there from which the nerve cells are arising. That means ganglia is a new word. Ganglia is nothing but nerve cell. Junction of nerve cells is called ganglia. Ganglia are plural. Ganglion is singular. Ganglion is singular. Ganglia are plural. Combination of ganglion are called ganglia. Here, cerebral ganglia, cerebral ganglion. That's why the cerebral ganglia are acting as the brain of the earthworm. Then, if we are also having the sense organs like that, eyes, palps, tentacles, and photoreceptors. These are also the types of tentacle sense organs that are there in this. If you see this diagram, children, here eyes are there in this nereis. This is nereis, follicle having many parapodia on it. Each and every segment consisting parapodia, which are useful for locomotion and respiration. And setae are present. The nereis consisting of eyes are there, palps are there, the prostomial palps are there, tentacles are there, photoreceptors are also embedded in the integument. Those are also acting as the sense organs. The epidermal receptors are like this, and the tentacles, palps, eyes. Just like we do have 5 sense organs now, like this, the lower invertebrates consisting a few of these having the eyes, palps, tentacles, and photoreceptors. Then After the nervous system is completed, we are going to discuss about the reproduction. Reproduction is nothing but it is a metabolic activity generating its own offspring. Usually, this is sexual in animals are concerned. But in lower invertebrates, protozoa peripheran, some asexual type of reproduction may be seen. But these first time developed organisms, these are the first time developed true segmented and eucoelomic and schizocoelomic organs. Sexual reproduction is also seen. In sexual reproduction, one opposite the other can change the sperm cells while copulation of both the earthworms and cocoon is formed during breeding. As far as sexuality is concerned, these are dioecious and monoecious. Dioecious means sexes are separate, unisexual. There are example Nereis. Nereis is a polychaete in which sexes are separate, unisexual. Two sexes are separate, two individuals are there. But whereas in Hyrodinia and Ferritima, the sexes are not separate, bisexual. In only one organism, monoecious means in one organism, two sexes are present. That's why this is bisexual. Hyrodinia is the common name is leech and Ferritima common name is earthworm. Hyrudinarians and Ferritima, those are bisexual. Hermaphrodites, hermaphroditic in nature. The monoecious are also called as hermaphrodites. This is a new word. Hermaphrodite is nothing but having bisexual parts in its own body. That means both male and female in a single individual. But dioecious means unisexual. Both the male and female are separated. Sexes are separate. Then go for the larvae are concerned. The trochophore larva is seen here. Apical tuft of cilia is there. Here the transverse septum. There are also some sort of cilia are there here. The mouth is there here. The trochophore larva is seen in the development of these annelids. And particularly, especially the larva, especially present in the Archaeannelida. Archae means ancient annelids. The ancient annelids possessing the Loven's larva. The trochophore larva of the Archaeannelida is Loven's larva. It may be asked in the MSET and NEET examination, children. You have to remember it. Loven's larva. Once of all, you have to note down it. Loven's larva is there in Archaeannelida. This is not given in our textbook, even though it is important, children. The Archaeannelids are primitive annelids, which are not included, but it is being asked in many times in MSET and NEET examination. That's why, which is very much important, children. The larva, Loven's larva, looking like the same trochophore larva, but its name is different. It was first coined by the scientist called Loven's. He said that the trochophore larva of the Archaeannelida is called as trochophore larva is called a Loven's larva. Then we have to go for the development or cleavage. Cleavage is holoblastic, complete. Holo means complete, and spiral. Spiral means just like spiral, coiling. And that means the cells are divided into two cells. First two cells mean zygote. Male gamete, female gamete fuse to form a zygote. We know. The male gamete, female gamete, while copulation, both the earthworms, they can interchange their gametes. And a cocoon is formed at the clitella. After that, the cleavage starts. 2 cells to 4 cells, 4 to 8 cell stage, and gastrulation is the gastrulation, archentron, coelom, mesoderms, and the blastopore. The blastopore turns to the mouth. These are called protostomes. The blastopore turns to anus. Those are called deuterostomes. These are the first protostomes. Protostomes means the blastopore turns to mouth is called protostomia, and which archentron or the blastopore turns to anus is called deuterostomia. But whereas the annelids are protostomes. Next, the development. Development is direct in monoecious and indirect in dioecious. Trochophore larva is seen in this development. Loven's larva in Archaeannelida. Archaeannelids, these are the Archaeannelids children. Archaeannelids, Polygardius and Protodellus, Pintobdella are the Archaeannelids here. Archaeannelids are very primitive annelids in which the Loven's larva is seen. This is the Aphrodite, otherwise called as sea mouse. This is the Nereis. Nereis is commonly called as ragworm or clamworm. We can discuss in detail about this in classification. Actually, general hydrodinia, Hirudinaria granulosa is there, lumbricus is there, oligokits, polykit, and hydrodinians and archaeanids. After the development is completed, we have completed the general characters. General characters. Let me discuss about the once again recap the general characters, children. What we have discussed. That means Annelida, habitat we were discussed. Those are marine, purely marine and terrestrial inhabitat and freshwater inhabitat. Body organization is completed. Symmetry is bilateral, skeleton and aneurysm, locomotion, cephalization, respiration, circulation, nervous system, reproduction, development is discussed. Now we will discuss about the classification of the Annelida phylum. Classification of the Annelida. Three classes are there: Polychaeta, Oligochaeta, and Hydrodinia. Polychaeta, the class Polychaeta. Polychaeta having many setae. Oligos means few setae are present. In Polychaeta, the examples are Nereis, Arenicola, Chaetopterus. In Oligochaeta, few chaetae are present: Fertima, Lumbricus, and Tubifex. Fertima, Lumbricus, Tubifex. In Hydrodinia, Hirudinaria, and Hirudo. In Archaeanida, Polycardius, Dinophilus, and Protodilus are the examples. Apart from this, one more Myzostomida is also there in this, as per as previous books and previous knowledge. Myzostomes also there. They are the primitive ones. Those were not included in our syllabus. Just only 3, 1, 2, 3. Polychaeta, Oligochaeta, Hydrodinia. 3 classes are included in our syllabus. We have to discuss about the Polychaeta now. Poly means many, chaeta means setae. The polychaetes are commonly called as bristle worms. Bristle worms, these are free moving, burrowing in nature. These are tube dwelling. That means these are tubicolous. That means tube-like structures. They live in the tube-like structures, tubicolous. The head is distinct with sense organs like eyes, tentacles, and palps. As we were discussed in cephalization, that the head is consisting of eyes, tentacles, and palps also there. And parapodia helps in locomotion and respiration. We also discussed about this in respiration. With the vascularized parapodia are seen in respiration. After Polychaeta, the Polychaeta having many setae on it, and the clitellum is absent in use. Dioecious and unisexual gonoducts are absent. Fertilization is external. Development includes a trochophore larva. Trochophore larva is there. You have to concentrate on these examples, children. Actually, Nereis is commonly called as sandworm, ragworm, or clamworm. These are the common names. Nereis is otherwise called as Neanthis. This is also another name for this, Neanthis. Nereis or Neanthis. Chaetopterus is a paddle worm, just like paddle in the bottle. Like that, it will be looking like that. The Aphrodite is mouse-like structure present in the sea. That's why sea mouse. This may be asked in the MSET and NEET examinations. So you have to more concentrate on the scientific names. Polychaeta is over. Next, Oligochaeta. Oligochaeta means, oligos means few, chaeta means setae are there. Earthworms live more in moist soil and some live in fresh water. That means to be freshwater earthworms are nothing but water forms are tubifex, and earthworms live in moist soil. They are very much useful for cultivation. That's why earthworms are otherwise called as the farmer's friends. Setae are nothing but the chitinous setae are there in useful locomotion. These are monoecious or bisexual. Phylum forms a cocoon during the breeding season. Okay, as we were discussed about this, clitellum is nothing but the girdle-like structure or a belt-like structure is present around the body, which is very thickened in color, and it forms a cocoon during the breeding season or during coupling. This is the clitellar part. 14 to 17 segments. The clitellum is present in peritima, whereas in 14 to 16 segments, the clitellum is megascolex. Ferritima and Megascolex, two species are present available in India. The Ferritima is the North Indian one, whereas Megascolex is South Indian. These are monoecious or bisexual. Development is direct without larval stage. The Ferritima full name is Ferritima fostuma. Megascolex full name is Megascolex marishae. This is the genus name, children. This is the species name. Having genus and species name, what is it? It is binomial nomenclature. Who proposed it? Linnaeus. As per Linnaeus, binomial nomenclature, each and every organ should and must have two names. Just like we people, as myself is also having one, my name and my surname. My surname is Sanugoju and my name is Satish. Like that, all the invertebrates also like this, Ferritima fostuma, genus name and species name. Species are more present. Ferritima is acting as a, this genus is acting as a family of us, surname of our family. Fostuma are the children of our family. Like that, Fostuma is there. Another species are also present. You may discuss in detail in higher studies. Megascolex marishae, it is also a South Indian earthworm, tubifex. It is also a freshwater form, oligochaete. Then afterwards, we have to go through the Hyrodinia. Hyrodinia, all ectoparasites. These are all ectoparasites. Hirudo means leech. A leech is having a pigment called hirudin. Due to presence of hirudin, the name was coined by the Hyrodinia. All these are ectoparasites and sanguivorous. Sanguivorous, the term is not there here. Sanguivorous is nothing but the organisms which can suck the blood by help of its suckers is called sanguivorous. They suck, but no experience to the victim, but those are sanguivorous. They can suck smoothly. And dorsoventrally flattened structures are there here. These you see the dorsoventral structure of the leech here. This is dorsoventralis flattened like this. Next, definite number of segments are seen. There are the number of segments in the leech are 33. Anterior oral sucker is there. Posterior also present. Posterior sucker, this is posterior sucker, this is posterior. The anterior sucker is present to the ventral side, whereas the posterior is around the body, it is present. Posterior from 28 to 33 segments it is located, whereas the oral sucker is located in the first 3 segments of this leech. Leech is consisting of only 33 segments, children. Definite number of segments, that means body is divided into definite number. The annulus segments are nothing but transverse septae metamerically, that means tagmata. Tagmatism is also a word for metamerization. Here annulus means a segment, the singular, or the plural. Internal segmentation is absent, external segment is present. The examples are Hirudinaria granulosa, Indian cattle leech, Acanthoptella, Cetal leech is there, Hemodipsa, medicinal leech is there. Hirudinaria granulosa is Indian cattle leech, which can suck the blood. Acanthoptella, Cetal leech, Hemodipsa, it is a medicinal leech. Important. It is very much important. Medicinal leech is used in medicine. If you go to the classification, the Hyrudinia class is more important, like Polychaeta. Here, Hyrudinia, monoecious are hermaphroditic in nature. That means both the sexes are present. A male reproductive system possesses a copulatory organ, the cirrus. The cirrus, male reproductive copulatory organ is present. Fertilization is internal. The development is direct. And just we have to go through the examples once again, children. Here, examples as we were studying. Hirudia granulosa, a freshwater Indian cat leech is there here. And Pantoptella, Hemodipsa, and Acanthoptella. These are the very good examples for Hyrudinia. The locomotion is with suckers. The diagrammatic representation of Hirudo verbena, Hirudo medicinalis is like this, with this anterior sucker, posterior sucker, by which it is it's due to its elastic nature, it is extending. That means the suckers, the anterior sucker and posterior suckers helps in locomotion. Clitellum is conspicuous in breeding season. That means it is only formed during the breeding season. But whereas in earthworm is concerned, in 14 to 7 segments in Ferritima, it is permanent. The permanent girdle-like structure present in the earthworm permanently, whereas the clitellum is conspicuous. That means specially formed during breeding season in the leeches are concerned. In the leeches, at the time of breeding copulation, the clitellum is formed. That is conspicuous. A coelom is fully filled with botryoidal tissue. Botryoidal tissue is a bunch of tissue which is present in the coelomic fluid. This is the gray branch-like structure, botryoidal tissue, which is useful for excretion, storage of iron and calcium, and revascularization of injuries. And we have to go through the annelida general character. That the introduction we were discussed farmer's friend. Why it is the farmer's friend? Earthworms are mostly useful for the farmers due to they are very much useful. They're useful for cultivation, losing the soil, moisturizing the soil. And one more character of this is Lamarck is a scientist, evolutionary scientist who coined the name. Lamarck is the evolutionary scientist who coined the name for Annelida, and we will discuss the general characters. The general characters are, once again, we have to recap children here: habit and habitat, body organization, hydrostatic skeleton, locomotion, cephalization, and respiration, digestion, nervous system, development, larval stages, sense organs, lateral heart, coelom, metabolic activities, outline classification, all were discussed here. One by one, we were discussed in detail, and in type study, we will discuss about the all metabolic activities in detail in the next classes. Children, we have to recap once again. Actually, the overview of this we were discussed here, and all these terms are we were discussed. Now, I want to give some IP homework for you people, that what is meant by metamerism. It will be asked in a 2 marks question. And this is a question that how do you distinguish a hydrodidian from a rest of annelids based on the morphological features pertaining to metamerism? How does the coelom of leech differ from that an earthworm with reference to its contact? It may be asked in 4 marks. And what do you call the locomotor structures of Nereis, and why Nereis is a polychaete? Can you tell? Yes, poly means many. Locomotor structures in Nereis? Yes, setae. Setae are locomotor structures that are present in polychaeta. What are the salient features exhibited in polychaetes? Polychaete is very much important. It will be covered in IPE under 4 marks. So you have to go through the polychaetes general characters in the classification is concerned. How do the hydrodidians differ from polychaete and oligochaete? So hydrodidia is also important to differentiate. This may be asked in 4 marks question in IPE. And general characters are main. Here once again we have to overview these. The general characters, as far as the general characters are concerned, the habitat to the reproduction, all the characters we have to remember. All these children: habit and habitat, body organization, symmetry, hydrostatic skeleton, coelom is true coelom, metamerism or true segmentation is seen, locomotion by setae, cephalization, head is more distinct and having sense organs, respiration by diffusion, circulation by closed type, reproduction is by sexual means. Like this, nervous system is there. Okay, children, with which I conclude, and I express my deep sense of gratitude to our additional director, Sri S.SATHEESH Reddy sir, and our joint director, Rajiv sir, and my principal, Abdul Khalil, TSMS Asif Amar. I'd like to convey my special thanks to Vishnu Priya ma'am, and Vijay Lakshmi ma'am, and Shailja ma'am, and Manjari ma'am is there. She's giving very much suggestions to me. My special thanks to Dr. Venugopal Reddy sir and Ram Prasad sir, and my junior E.G. Prashanti ma'am. Very much thankful to one and all children. If you have any doubt, you can ask in WhatsApp group. Okay, ma'am.
Thank you very much, sir, Satish sir, for the detailed explanation of the phylum Annelida. I'm
Okay.
sure all students must have gained a clear and concise understanding of the general characters, classification of these animals. I request all the students to read the textbook chapter thoroughly, watch this video again and make notes. Thank you, sir, for this presentation, and thanks to all the students for attending. Please stay tuned for the next lectures in this series. Students may please subscribe to the Model School Telangana Junior Inter YouTube channel to stay updated with the latest subject content. Thank you once again, sir. Satish sir, thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam. Manjri madam and Vishnu Priya ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.